Having the right settings in any Call of Duty game, whether it's Cold War, Warzone, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2, literally any Call of Duty game, is so incredibly important. Having the right settings could mean the difference between being really good and really bad. It makes that big of a difference. So today we have compiled a list of all the top CDL pros. So all the top Call of Duty pros, or just about all of them. And we've been able to figure out what the most used pro settings are for Call of Duty Cold War and Warzone. Now, these aren't going to differ much at all. Now, these are going to be about the same for the games. So I'm on Cold War, but obviously you can change it up just a little bit for Warzone. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump straight into this video. All right, starting out with our controller settings. Now, the sensitivity is a huge game changer. This is one of the main things that people change, and even way back in the day, this was really one of the only things that you could change. So the top used settings are roughly around 6.6. Now, you don't have to follow this exactly. You don't have to follow any of these exactly. But this is a good pace for being able to turn quickly, but not so quickly that your aim gets thrown off. If you're not used to this speed, if this is faster than usual, it'll take you probably a couple days to really get into it. But once you get into it, it's well worth it. Now, this ADS stick sensitivity low zoom is the only one that is changed out of these stick sensitivities here, or the ADS stick sensitivities. And it's about 50-50. So some pro players go with 1, some pro players go with 0.9. I usually stick with 0.8 to 0.9. And this will make it when you're aiming in with sights that are 3x or lower, you're going to be looking left and right or everywhere a bit slower than you would if this was on 1 or higher, which helps you hit those further shots much easier. Heading over to button layouts, the big thing right now is tactical because the PS5s do not have scuffs. You can use older controllers, but it's just not worth it. In the future, when we do have scuffs, I would assume this will be going back to default, but for now this is at tactical. That makes it so your right thumbstick is now your crouch button, and your B or circle is your melee attack. So that is just flip. Now, this is one of the bigger changes. We have this flip L2 R2 with L1 R1, and they have this on. This makes it where your triggers are now for your grenades and your L1 and R1. So what was the grenades are for your aim and fire. The reason behind that is because when you're aiming and shooting, you have to push these down just ever so slightly more for that aiming and fire to actually take effect. Rather than with these buttons, that input delay is much less because you don't have to press it down as far. So you save just, a millisecond, which in Call of Duty can make, honestly, a huge difference. So it takes a while to get used to. Honestly, probably not that long, but I would recommend going with flip. Now, vertical look stays the same. Aim response curve, I see a lot of standards and a lot of dynamic. Now, here's the descriptions right here. I would just stick whatever you're used to. I don't see this making that big of a difference in the long run if you're good with what you already have. So I stick with standard. I always have, probably always will. My controller vibration I have on disabled along with all the other pros. That slight shake of the controller can slightly throw off your aim, and you could be missing targets because of that. And believe me, once you turn it off, you'll probably not want to go back. Trigger effect, disabled. This is PS5. I wouldn't recommend having that on. It's kind of uncomfortable. Target aim assist on. Target aim assist mode standard. Now, obviously, this is the standard, or for Warzone Legacy is actually the standard. If you're more of an accurate player, if you've been playing Call of Duty for a while, I would go with that precision. This is going to have a very strong slowdown when you're getting closer to the targets, and it makes it just a little bit easier to hit those shots. And for the rest, I would just keep the same here. It doesn't make that big of a difference. I usually turn controller sounds off, personal preference, auto sprint, personal preference. For the interact reload behavior, mainly for multiplayer, a lot of people keep this on tap to reload. And then for Warzone, we have tap to interact. Going over to graphics, ray tracing is for, I believe, PC and next-gen consoles. More than likely, you'll have a higher FPS rate if you turn this off, but completely up to you. Field of view, now this is one of the newer things in multiplayer Warzone. I believe it in Warzone now. I would knock this up to probably about 100. Now, this is going to make your field of view, or what you see on the screen, a little bit bigger. Makes it so that you can see targets easier around your screen and just be able to see more in general, which really helps out once you get the hang of it. And then motion blur, go ahead and turn that off. You don't want any kind of blur. I don't know why this is a thing. This makes it so when you're turning, it actually blurs some sections of your screen, which is stupid, in my opinion. Absolutely stupid. All right, so for audio, I turned my music down quite a bit. Then the music isn't overtaking anything in-game that you might need to be hearing. Sound effects, probably about 90. Dialogue, 90. And then maybe 90. Now, everything else I would keep the same. We have the interface, all the same. And that's going to be literally everything that you need to know for these settings. Now, there's a lot of things that if you haven't done in the past, like tactical, flip, controller vibration, it'll take some time getting used to. But it helps so much in the long run, there's no reason not to do it. Go ahead and take the hit now, change it over, have a few bad games, and you'll be getting used to it in no time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If this video has helped you in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps me more than you guys know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, I love you guys, I appreciate you guys, and I see y'all in the next one.